All right, thank you so much. Really excited to be here, and very heartwarming to be here, actually. I remember coming to my first Breakpoint in 2022, and I felt like it was like me showing the world Magic Eden. At that time, we were supporting Solana NFTs, and over the last couple of years, we launched a bunch more products. So today, I want to talk about what the next evolution of Magic Eden looks like, and I'm very excited to share it here at Breakpoint, right? The start of Magic Eden and the start of our next chapter. Cool. So over the last couple of years, we've been building Magic Eden, and one of the real core questions we've been thinking about is how do we grow? How do we grow? And it became really obvious to us, and probably very obvious to a bunch of the folks here today in the industry, that the complexity of Web3 makes it really hard to onboard new users. There's like 10 different apps that all kind of do the same thing on 10 different chains. Everyone have to download the same wallets. And that complexity is really tough for a new user trying to onboard into the ecosystem when we are innovating on so many new use cases that we want to show them to these new users. And our thought process has always been, look, our thesis is that the on-chain economy is going to be massive. And we started with the NFTs, which is a very native on-chain asset. But there is many more really cool use cases and really cool new things that's coming on-chain. And as we looked around and thought about how we can grow, we realized, for new users coming into the ecosystem, they really need this single trusted place across chains for them to grow and manage all of their new assets and for them to interact with Web3. And we see that, right? We see that analogy also in kind of the centralized exchange world where Web2 people are coming into crypto for the first time as well. So this basically started our train of thought on what is next for Magic Eden. So what have we actually done so far? Of course, everyone knows Magic Eden as an NFT marketplace, and I'm very proud to say we've reached the #1 cross-chain NFT marketplace position. We stopped tracking volume a while ago. I think it's a pretty gameable metric, but right now we have around 65% of the revenue in the NFT industry across every chain. And been really proud to serve millions of users this year and also support a lot of creators. But it's not just NFTs. We've also this year expanded into some other use cases. So within our mobile wallet and within our Chrome extension, we really worked hard on this cross-chain swaps that allows folks to swap from BTC to Sol to ETH and really cover all the plethora of different routes that people want. And that's been growing really fast, and now that's around 20% of our business and only growing more. And the last thing that we've been really grinding on and really pushing out recently, just a couple of months ago, is our mobile app, right? And Web3 has generally been this place where it's kind of like web first, but the world is already on mobile. And we really wanted to do something here to give our users a seamless, on-the-go experience to interact with Magic Eden. So those are the things we've done so far. But the real question is, what's next? And stepping back 1 second is when we thought about building what's next and we thought about the logic of how we built things, we really distilled our strategy down to something like this, which is we always wanted to pick really simple, delightful use cases that can appeal to masses, like masses of retail users. And we started with the NFTs. But we layered on more and more use cases, each layer by layer, so that we can offer more touch points to our users, but of course offer them more seamlessness and more convenience. And even though Solana was our genesis, it was our home, we also wanted to expand these use cases across chains so we can give our users the wide range and convenience, right, that they want as they explore different ecosystems as well. So stepping back, that's really allowed us to offer our users this seamlessness and convenience that I think they deserve as they come and explore the Web3 and crypto ecosystem. And for us as a company, it's also given us a lot more diversification and defensibility so that we can build for the long term. And we were really inspired as we thought about the logic of how we build things. We were really inspired by some of the really major centralized players, right? So Coinbase, Binance, as they built many touch points to touch the users and become this single trusted hub for their crypto activities. However, going back to the thesis that I outlined earlier, our thought is always that the on-chain world is going to become bigger, and it really takes an on-chain native company to have that DNA and user understanding to build this single trusted hub as well. So what's next and what's coming up in the next couple of months. Very, very excited to share some of that with the folks here today. The first is this. We call it our seamless login and multi-chain identity product. Really, it's all about forget 12-word passphrases, right? And that is just one of the biggest inhibitors for folks, new users, to come on board into the ecosystem. We want to do social login, basically set up and create a Magic Eden account. We will generate multiple multi-chain addresses for you based on email, Telegram ID, Discord ID. And at the same time, then we know that for you to have a seamless multi-platform experience on web, mobile, maybe a Telegram later on, you don't want to re-import all of your seed phrases and all of that to really get all of your notifications and get all your preferences across different platforms. Once we have something like this, this will allow us to share those preferences with our users across all of their devices, and it's just the kind of experience that people now expect anyway. The second is trade all assets across all chains. And this is something that we actually did a lot of deep thinking into because, of course, our genesis was really around NFTs. But as we had our users interact with our mobile app, as we had users interact with our Chrome extension, and really users who interacted with our fungible token trading products, those users were giving us a lot of feedback to say, hey, Jack, Magic Eden team, we love what you guys do in NFTs, but really there is something really special that you've done in your cross-chain swaps and cross-chain experience. How can we do that more so that we can have one single place and avoid navigating to all of these different surface areas? So we want to offer the ability to trade different asset classes within the marketplace itself as well. Again, that will allow us to appeal to a wider audience, new use cases, and as with a new onboarding experience, I think that's also going to help us welcome more users into Web3 and the crypto ecosystem. And one of the things that we're really proud of, top right here, is the ability to effectively use different type, pay anything, buy anything. The ability to use different types of tokens and different currencies across chains to buy some native assets. So imagine you'll be using Bitcoin, using ruins to buy some of the real OG prestigious assets within the Solana ecosystem as well. Then we also realized this other thing, which is, at the core of Magic Eden's use case today, it's really about trading. But a lot of our users are very casual. They're very retail, and they'll say, hey, we don't know what to trade all the time. It's not really every activity. But if there's a way for us to have fun, engaging experiences, rewarding experiences on Magic Eden, we would love to have some of that. We already started the path down this position with our rewards program, but of course we wanted to make this even more engaging with more types of quests. Some of them will be Magic Eden quests, and some of those we will also open up to our partners as well. And then, lastly, but very importantly, the ME token is being administered by the ME Foundation, but we at Magic Eden, we're very proud to adopt this as the central utility token and rewards incentive for our application. And it's a really proud moment for us to say that this will be on SPL, and it will be our way of also contributing to the Solana ecosystem. Because if you really think about it, in the last couple of years, some of the most cutting-edge innovations have really happened on Solana, right? Whether it's new use cases, whether it's this cutting-edge performance of the underlying technology itself, and of course, some of the really new onboarding technologies like Blinks, wallets are also happening on Sol as well. And the way that we want to use this token as we adopt it is really to bootstrap and hyper-grow us towards this next vision. It's going to happen. The claim will happen exclusively within our mobile app, and also future rewards will also happen within the mobile app as well. And this is the way that we want to create even more engaging, even more sticky relationships, even more tighter relationships with our end users as well. And there's many, many flavors of what we want to do with this token adoption and that we want to share with our community. So, stepping back, I would actually say that, Magic Eden, at our core DNA, we are consumer application developers. But if we look at, like the history of crypto, a lot of the narratives has really been about infrastructure, and those are the household names that we know today, right? It's the chains, Sol, Bitcoin, ETH. They're really the household names in our space. But if we zoom out and think about the wider history of the internet, actually, eventually, consumer applications become really huge, and they can also become household names, and they eventually do, right? That's the history of the internet. But for us as consumer developers at Magic Eden, some of that a few years ago was just a dream. We didn't have the underlying technology to be able to do that. But as we sit here today in 2024, we think about the hyper performance of Sol, the amazing, the onset of new things like embedded wallets that's going to make onboarding a lot easier. And of course, some of the core use cases on-chain that have already found product market fit and is just looking for an opportunity to scale. I really think that the moment is here, right? The moment is here, and the alignment of stars is here for consumer decentralized applications to take the main stage and become those household names itself. And spoiler alert, we at Magic Eden, we think we're going to be one of them. So I just wanted to wrap up and say thank you so much, everyone here, for all of your support for Magic Eden, for us from the start, all the ups and downs to now, and all of our different variations and different evolutions. And we want to be, in our next evolution, your home to Web3, and we also welcome you and thank you for your support as well. Cheers, everyone. Thank you.